Ciao crazy Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Look, I'm calling you crazy Juventini because we are a consequence of what happened yesterday. Mercato is crazy. What a U-turn from Felipe Anderson. Well, there is one thing that I can promise you. I already tell you since a few days, since a few weeks, put that notification ring on. For what reason? Because what is right today can become wrong tomorrow. What we are not even able to imagine today can become reality tomorrow at every single moment of the day. And we don't have to wait the 1st of July. It already started yesterday with the first evidence that Mercato is crazy. Campaign 24-25 will be crazy. I can promise you that. I can guarantee you that. I will give you the details about how Felipe Anderson from a Bianconero became a green Palmeiras player, but I will also ask you to participate. I have a big question from you, because if Felipe Anderson, ciao, is not anymore a possible Juve player, we need to go with another name. And Tuttosport is giving us one name, Gazzetta dello Sport is giving us another name. I will ask you, and it will be a difficult one, a tough one, a controversial one maybe, to put it inside the comment section. Now we start. After you putting a maximum of like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Felipe Anderson, how did it all start? With months ago, weeks ago, the interest of Juve confirmed by all the journalists. All of them. They were all wrong, and I was wrong yesterday. I have to do mea culpa on the video of yesterday. I will tell you in a second. Fabrizio Romano, the one, speaking about Mercato, 8 days ago, not 1 month, 8 days ago, confirmed, exclusive, so it's his news. Juventus are one step away from signing Felipe Anderson as a free agent, deal imminent. Yesterday, he tweeted another tweet. Juventus and Felipe Anderson on the way to get the deal done since last week. Nothing changed, despite the reports about Lazio new deal. I told you yesterday there was a new deal from Lazio. They increased even the salary, the years of contract. He decided to do something else. At that moment, we didn't know. We were all sure. Yesterday, I sent a few messages, and all of them were confirming. There were even some telling me some details. There was just one thing that could have made that deal collapse. The non-qualification in Champions League from Juventus, where Felipe Anderson could track back and say, I'm sorry, I don't come. Otherwise, it would have been a done deal. I made a video about it yesterday, and mea culpa. I said things that were not correct. I was thinking, what should I do? Should I delete the video or... No, why? Said is said. I think that you are right also it's your right to see that when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'm here today to tell you I was wrong. I'm extremely sorry for that. Also because there was another part that was super interested in that video. Yesterday, I was even more convinced at a certain moment at 11 p.m. where Felipe Anderson himself is writing on Instagram, on Twitter, out of respect to the Lazio fan, I need to tell them that the deal with Lazio has collapsed. We didn't find an agreement, so I will change journey. I will go towards something else. Thank you for everything, blah, 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 blah. We were all sure about it. That was the moment where he was really clearly saying, ciao to Lazio, I am a Juve player. That much convinced that yesterday, Fabrizio Romano is tweeting, Felipe Anderson confirms on Instagram that is leaving Lazio. Juventus have sent their final contract proposal to Felipe Anderson last week. We are just waiting for the details to be discussed. And it's not the only one, because yesterday, Tuttosport, big page, huge page, with Felipe Anderson there on the cover. Felipe è uno. Felipe. And we start. It's the first one. Contact with the agents. They are just defining the last small details for him to be announced as a Juve player. And then U-turn, the most beautiful dribble, the most beautiful skill, the Rabona, the whatever you want to, the fantastic beautiful skill, this time not on the field but off the field, with Palmeiras. Benvindo, Felipe Anderson. Welcome to Felipe Anderson. Then another tweet also with parabéns, happy birthday. Congratulations, Felipe Anderson, to become a Palmeiras player, but also celebrating your birthday. What a crazy day. So what happened? It happens that he made a choice to change. Like Tuttosport said, stop, wait, don't print that first page. We changed all. And they have put Federico Chiesa, and they have put the future of Yildiz that we will touch on later in today's video on that first page. There was only one man. We have to be correct on the channel. You like, you don't like, we have to be correct. Alfredo Pedula since the last few weeks, has always said Felipe Anderson will not become a Juve player. There are no contacts anymore between Juventus and the agents of Felipe Anderson since at least 15 days. There is no intention anymore to sign the player because Felipe Anderson already said it. I will not go to Juve. Look, Lazio tried. They really wanted to keep him. Juventus tried. At a certain moment, he wanted more money than what Lazio was offering, that 3.5, the last offer, 3.5 million euro net per season. Juventus, they tried. He wanted 4 million euro. At the end, between waiting, thinking, etc., he made a other choice, a life choice, saudade, the famous saudade of Brazil, to go back to his family. It's respectable, of course, it's respectable choice, but just to tell you that Mercato is crazy, so credits to Alfredo Pedula. Why was I not reporting his news? Because he blocked me on Twitter and I can't follow him. Does that mean now that all the other expert journalists are totally wrong, that we can't trust them anymore? No, Mercato is totally crazy. Everything can happen until the official announcement of a club. Everything can happen. Sometimes journalists, they have sources inside the entourage of certain players. They can be right, for example, on Felipe Anderson, because they know someone from that management, from the family, and they can be wrong about another player from the same targets of the same clubs. The ones that are the most reliable are the ones that have some sources inside of Juventus in that particular season. For example, the people that had contact sources in the entourage of Manna will totally be lost this time. Why? Because Manna will not be there anymore. Like the one that had, for example, contacts with the entourage of Tognozzi, that is not there anymore. They will need to find new sources. That's why I'm always telling you, it's not because a big journalist is wrong about one name that we can't trust him anymore. So I will continue to trust Fabrizio Romano, Romeo Agresti, and all the one that said Felipe Anderson will be there. Then, of course, if Alfredo Pedula is giving you a second great news, official news, a third official news, we can know that he will be the king of Juventus 24-25 Mercato, and then I will try to create another account so that I can really follow him and report you the news every day here on the channel. All that story before going towards the other topics, well, it brought me back to years ago. The definition of Mercato is crazy. Berbatov waiting at the airport, a plane that would have bring him to Firenze to sign with Fiorentina. Before stepping in, he's deciding to go to Juventus, stepping in another plane, the one that is bringing him, and this time in the air, about to go to Torino. In the air, he's changing his opinion, or at least they found another agreement with Fulham. He's going back to England and he's signing for Fulham. What a crazy story. And that's why since that particular day, I tell you, until the official announcement from a club, I don't trust Mercato anymore. I don't trust. I'm just ready to take whatever happens. It will be a tough one, for Giuntoli. Yesterday I wrote as a title of the video, bad start of the week for Giuntoli. Well, it continues because Felipe Anderson was number one on his target list and he had to scratch it. Like he had to probably do it for Ferguson. Yesterday we knew it, I already told you, and that was the core of the video. They will need to change opinion, to change target, because Ferguson was injured and it's even worse. An ACL, problem at the knee. He will be out until 2025. He will miss the Euro 24 with Scotland. What a disaster. I'm really sad. I'm extremely sad. So it makes no sense anymore to go for one of the players that I really believe could be, again, not the emblem, not the icon on the poster of the campaign 24-25, but an extremely important player for that midfield of Juventus. Especially because we know that we will have to change a lot. In the midfield, it will be a revolution with McKennie, that at the moment is still not sure to continue. And it is, or he renews at the money that Juventus is offering him, or he will be sold with an offer of probably 20 million euro because it is his last year of contract. So it's not even a player that will bring you 50, 60, 70 million euro where you say, okay, great, guys, great, fantastic, we go for a stronger one. With 20 million euro in today's Mercato, you do nothing, especially if you are missing out on a player like Felipe Anderson. Now, there is one certainty. We already spoke about it yesterday, so I will not repeat everything I said. Kenan Yildiz, he will extend, not until 2029 anymore, but 2028. Some people are saying with a possible extension, one more year of bonus until 2029 from one side or the other side. But the most important news is it will be official. When? We don't know, we just have to wait. And with the number 10, that is controversial because some people are saying give him the number 10. Some people are saying no, absolutely not. He needs to wait. He needs to prove even more that he's showing now. I tell you, I give him the number 10. Has been said by Del Piero, Ravanelli yesterday. He was speaking. He said, look, if you want to trust in him, give him that number 10. Give him also the understanding how big responsibilities he will have. If you believe in him, if he is the player of the future, like confirmed by Szczesny, by Gatti, by Baggio, if he is the player, don't wait. Give him the 10. And let him feel immediately that responsibility, what it is to take that number 10. And also, from a marketing side, honestly, from a marketing side, already today with that number 15, he is the player that is selling the most shirts online and in the Juve stores. He's the number 1. So why waiting? Let's give him. Let's give him and build the future with Kenan Yildiz. A Juventus that is thinking about a youth Juventus, of course, with some experienced player. But the big targets now are Kenan Yildiz extending and playing much more than he played this year. There's another name, Calafiori. Maybe sacrificing a house and that will bring you some money, but going all in for Calafiori. And then there is another name, and that's where we go. Towards 2 names, one by Gazzetta dello Sport, one by Tuttosport, to be the post Felipe Anderson. Gazzetta, and every single day, since weeks now, they are going towards one name, Greenwood. They are convinced. They are convinced. Look, guys, if Gazzetta dello Sport will hit that one, if they will be correct with Greenwood, I will be the first one to say fantastic work. Because they are the only one at today that they are every day continuing with Greenwood is a target. Greenwood is a target. Greenwood is close to Juventus. There are already talks for Greenwood to come to Juve, explaining all the details. I don't report it every day because they are the only ones, but if they are right, well, we will have to say that Gazzetta dello Sport, they also found some sources, credible sources at Juventus. Look, Greenwood, we all know Greenwood, a player that had a lot of difficulties off the field at Manchester United, was not playing for a long time, is on loan now to Getafe, where he's finding new continuity, playing game in, game out, scoring already 6 goals in La Liga, 2 goals in Copa del Rey, 5 assists already, played 29 games in total. He's a player that is reborn, I don't know. He's born again in La Liga. Of course, he's there only on loan. He will go back to Manchester United that do not want him anymore. It is over for all what happened off the field. 1 more year of contract, so it's a player that can go for a cheap. Of course, you will need to pay him. But that's one name, Greenwood. If we're speaking about technique, if we're speaking about the player, what he can give as a right wing, but also can play on the left wing, it's a player that can be really interesting. Extremely interesting. But we know that there is also a past linked to his name. What can be a difficult one? And then Tuttosport today is coming with another name. Also Manchester United. And we are speaking about Martial. The difference between the two is that Martial is free. Last year of contract, and he has no intention to continue with Manchester United where he's not playing. He played only 19 games, scoring 2 goals and 1 assist. 629 minutes so far this season out of the project. He's a player that is 28. If Greenwood was much younger, because he's 22 until the 1st of October, so we are speaking already about next season, where he will become 23, Martial is a player of already 28 until December. There is a difference of age, there is a difference of performance, there is a difference of potential. Martial is a player that if you sign for free, yes, you will not be able to sell him anymore. While a Greenwood, you can keep him 2-3 years and then he will be even more at his peak where you can't cash in anymore. So if we are making abstraction of the off-the-field topics, Greenwood is the ideal player. Probably even better than Felipe Anderson. Probably even better on the field as Felipe Anderson, and he's 31. Greenwood is coming to be probably more than only a rotational player. That can be a top player. Chiesa, Yildiz, Greenwood. But of course, we have to take into consideration his past. And that's what I'm asking you. If you take all into consideration, who is the next one in line that you want? Greenwood instead of Felipe Anderson? Martial instead of Felipe Anderson. One of the two. Don't tell me crazy names, guys. It's one or two. Take a decision. Be brave today. Let me know. And now we go towards the end of the video, towards the last topics of the videos about the front page of Tuttosport that changed. U-turn also there with Tormenti Chiesa. Chiesa is in that Tormento, in in the troubles, in the idea, negative spiral, in the spiral Chiesa, future Yildiz. About Yildiz we already spoke, I already told you everything. Now about Chiesa. Chiesa is not happy. That's what is written in Tuttosport. We already mentioned it yesterday in the video. But the problem is that there is no offer. And that's a reality for a player that scored 3 goals only in the last few weeks, in the last few months. A player that scored 7 in total in Serie A this season. A player where we were expecting a lot more from him. At the moment, well, the other clubs are also watching the situation. And at the moment, there are no offers. He has 1 more year of contract with Juve. Juve is pushing to renew. He has some interest also to renew, to play the different competitions, to actually try to make a better season as this one, because he's aware that this season is not fantastic because of the coach, because of the technical incompatibility, etc., etc. The only thing that I'm asking to all of you is try to make abstraction of the name. Try to make abstraction of the name. All that controversial thing about Chiesa going out and asking himself, why always me? Why am I always the first one that is subbed out? Try to make totally abstraction and take the facts into the consideration. In the first part of the season, he was not always the first one to go out. From January on, with these multiple small injuries, that's the moment where he started to be subbed out. But also, what he's offering on the field is not always satisfying. It's not always at the level of what we are expecting from Federico Chiesa. So I repeat that question. Why am I always the first one? No. He's actually saying, I am always the first one to go out. I would transform it for Chiesa into a question to himself. Why am I always the first one to go out? And that's a really important one, especially to take into consideration when sitting at the table of Juventus. Because probably we'll go with another coach, but that will not solve all the problems. He needs also to check into the mirror and saying, can I do more? And that's a super important question. Now, the last one that Corriere dello Sport is going towards Gasperini, that could potentially be a target of Napoli, that is still thinking about who can be our next coach. Can it be Conte? Can it be Italiano? Can it be even Pioli? Well, Gasperini is one that is also there on the target list of De Laurentiis for the magnificent work that he's able to do. Not yesterday, because yesterday, of course, there were 2 games to be recuperated in Serie A, and the 2 games, Fiorentina-Genoa 1-1 and Atalanta-Verona, they also went in a draw. If we take for granted that Udinese-Roma will not change score, so 1-1, that means that we had 8 draws in a single day of Serie A. 8 draws on 10 record. The X record was 6. Now it's 8. 8 draws in a single day. What a day. What a crazy day. It is Serie A. So from Serie A, we go to Serie X because it was a draw. Let me know in the comments all what you thought about it. Mercato is crazy. We will probably end with that beautiful song towards the outro. So enjoy. Grazie, forza. Juve.
Mercato is crazy. Ah, la 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 la. Mercato is crazy. Ah, la 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 la. Mercato is crazy.